The Loretta Young Show.
Hello. As the result of a very short discussion here the other day, it was agreed that the most pleasant people to be around are those who accentuate the positive. And that brings us right smack up to another story about Inga Helborg, the Swedish farm girl. Now, we've asked Ben Cabot, the prison psychiatrist, to bring you up to date on the saga of Inga Helborg.
Well, Inga still runs the experimental retention farm for rehabilitating convicts. And Jessie, the hired girl, is still with her, a trusted friend as well as employee. I'm with Inga, too, now, because, as you may remember, she and I were married about 6 months ago, and I must say it's been a very interesting 6 months.
Hello.
Hello, Inga. My time for lunch?
Yeah, the boys are just washing up.
Here's a letter for you.
Ooh.
From another man.
Oh, from Tom Roberts. He has written often since he was paroled.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, today is the day the book salesman comes around.
So I see.
Yeah.
How to be a successful wife.
Yeah. It was published by the same company who put out the pamphlet on the crop rotation, which I found so instructive. And I feel I have a lot to learn about becoming a successful wife.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just like Einstein had to learn so much about mathematics.
No, Ben, I mean it. You know, always before I have stood on my own 2 feet. Well, the book says I now must learn to stand on your 2 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It says I must seek your advice in all matters so that we will be together in all our decisions.
Oh, well, for instance.
Well, what color do you think the kitchen curtains should be dyed?
Oh, well, honey, interior decorating isn't one of my strong points.
Please.
Well, how about a nice, soft Kelly green?
Oh. I was hoping you would suggest the pale yellow.
Oh, why?
Because they have already been dyed the pale yellow. I told Jessie to this morning. Do you see what I mean, Ben?
Honey, what the book means is that husband and wife should discuss important things. You know, when there's a real doubt in your mind.
Oh.
Otherwise, you just go ahead and use your own judgment.
Come and get it, or I throw it away.
Shall we dine, Mrs. Cabot?
You bet, Mr. Cabot.
Inga didn't get a chance to read the letter from Tom Roberts until after I had left for work. The contents were such that she immediately set out for the office of A.R. Thurman, probably the busiest man in town.
Thank you. I'm sorry about all these interruptions, Mrs. Cabot. Now, what were you saying?
Well, I was saying I want to read you a letter from a man who was paroled a few months ago. He's having a very hard time.
Oh, Mrs. Cabot, I've already contributed more than I can spare to charities this year.
Oh, good. Good for you. Now, the letter says, Dear Mrs. Cabot, I got fired from another job yesterday, and for the same reason. As soon as the boss found out I had done time, he started looking around for a pink slip. I never thought I'd look back on my 4.5 years in stir as the good old days. Stir, that means what the convicts call the penitentiary.
Yes, I know, Mrs. Cabot. But what I don't understand is, what has all this to do with me?
Oh, well, your accountant, Vern Krings, he is a good friend of mine. And I understand he is anxious to retire.
That's true, but unfortunately, we haven't been able to find a suitable replacement.
Yeah, well, Tom Roberts is expert accountant. You hire him and all your troubles will be over.
Hire a convict?
Oh, no, an ex-convict.
Tell me, Mrs. Cabot, what did this man Roberts go to prison for?
Embezzling his company's funds.
And you think that the way for me to end all my troubles is to put him in charge of my books?
Oh, yeah, Tom is a wonder with figures.
I can imagine.
Oh, you bet he is.
If he's such a world beater, why didn't you hire him yourself?
Because I already have an accountant.
Not an ex-convict, I'll wager.
No. No, Pete Whittaker is not an ex yet. He is still a prisoner on my retention farm.
All I can say, Mrs. Cabot, is I envy you your faith in human nature.
Oh, I know I am lucky. It is such a pleasant thing to have.
Pleasant?
Yeah. Is something wrong?
No, it was just such an odd word to use.
Oh.
I was going to say it just wouldn't be practical to turn over my books to a man with a record for embezzlement.
Oh, but I think it would be practical. Now, you know, the one who stays the furthest away from the fire is the one who was burned. Tom Roberts' blisters have been burning for 4.5 years, Mr. Thurman.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Cabot. It's just out of the question.
Oh. But are you sure you won't change your mind?
Sorry, no.
Very well. Thank you anyway for seeing me, Mr. Thurman.
Mrs. Cabot.
Yeah?
Why did you use the word pleasant? You said it was a pleasant thing to believe in people?
Well, because it is.
How do you mean that?
Well, we all have to live and work with other people. And it makes the world so much more pleasant if you like and trust them instead of dislike and distrust them.
Yes, but don't others ever... Well, don't they ever fail you?
Oh, sure. And sometimes I fail them, too.
Pleasant.
Well, I won't take up any more of your time. Good day, Mr. Thurman.
Good day. Yes, Edith?
Mr. Mullen from the Mallory Company to see you, sir.
In a minute. But first, will you catch Mrs. Cabot before she gets in the elevator and ask her if she'd mind returning here for a further discussion of her request? Pleasant.
Jessie! I'm home! I think I got all the supplies you wanted, Jessie. Good. You look tired. Yeah, I am a little. It was a busy day. You bet. First, I talked to Mr. Thurman, and he's going to get Tom Roberts the job as accountant. Job? Yeah. Then I made arrangements at Milner's department store for Tom to get new clothes. But how? On credit. And Bob Jarlett says it's okay for Tom to buy a car. Credit again? Yeah. They give it to anybody these days. Oh, I am glad you remembered the sugar. It was running low. Yeah, I know. And then I went to see Dr. Olson. What did he say, the doctor? He says, yeah, I'm going to have a baby. You didn't forget the floor box? Oh, no, it's right here. Okay. Inga? Yeah. You are glad you're going to have a baby? Oh, of course. What woman would not be glad about going to have a baby? Oh, does he know yet? Oh, no. I want to tell him tonight when we're alone. And don't you spill no beans. Oh. Excuse.
Now then, you told me you had a surprise you wanted to tell me about.
Yeah. But first, there is something else I should mention.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Well, you remember this noon you said I was only supposed to consult you when I was not absolutely sure about something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, later on, something came up about Tom Roberts, and fortunately, I was absolutely sure about what to do.
Oh.
You see, Tom has lost another job on account of his prison record. So,
Honey.
Yeah.
If you had consulted me, this is what I would have advised.
Oh?
I would have advised that you talk to A.R. Thurman about hiring Tom as his accountant.
You would?
Mm-hmm. Then I would have recommended that you arrange credit for Tom at Milner's department store. And maybe talking to Bob Jarl about financing a car for him.
How did you know?
Now, there's a meeting of the Downtown Association this afternoon. Thurman, Milner, and Jarl, they were all there. They told me what you'd been up to.
And Dr. Olson? Was he there, too?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he was.
Oh, Ben. Then you already know about the baby.
Yes, darling, I already know.
Oh. And they say women talk too much.
Oh, don't blame the doc. He didn't know you wanted to surprise me.
Well, will you like being a father?
You bet.
Oh, and you do think I was right to help Tom Roberts get the job, huh?
Well, the mother of my child can do no wrong.
Oh, no. If I was right, I was right. But not just because I carry your child, huh?
Sure, honey. But right now, I want you to stop worrying about other people and relax.
Oh, please, Ben, don't treat me like a cream puff. Oh, my goodness. Women are having children every day of the year, every second even.
Not mine.
Oh. Seriously, Ben, I want you to tell me honestly. Do you think I did the right to help Tom Roberts get the job?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm not completely sold on the idea.
Oh, and why?
The more a parolee has to be on his own, the better off he is.
Yeah? But don't you think he needs a little bit of help while he's learning? I mean, well, it's like a man who's been sick in bed a long time. He needs some support before he can stand on his own 2 feet again.
Okay, I'll buy that. I'll even go farther.
Oh?
Why not invite Tom to live here on the farm? He can have his old bed in the bunkhouse and commute to town every day.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And not only would it save him board money, but it'd make it easier for us to keep an eye on how things are going for him.
I agree. And that's...
I'll get it.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Cabot.
Tom, hello.
Hello, Mrs. Cabot.
Well,
Well, I stopped by the department store after you phoned this afternoon and bought up a couple.
you look very nice, don't you think so, Ben?
Thank
Oh, yes. Sure.
Yeah.
What can I do with this?
Put it in the bunkhouse. Your bedding is there already. And get a good night's sleep because you start to work first thing in the morning.
Right.
Tom, I think you're going to like Mr. Thurman.
Well, the question is, will he like me?
Of course. Why shouldn't he?
Oh, you know, being an ex-con and all, I can't help feeling everybody will be sort of waiting around for me to make my first mistake.
No. You know, my father used to say, always give a little bit more than is expected of you, and you can never fail.
Yeah, I suppose he was right.
Oh, he usually was.
Well, anyway, I sure appreciate what you've done, no matter what happens. And, well, I'll see you at breakfast.
Yeah. Good night, Tom.
Good night.
And sleep well.
Thank you.
Ben, I did not consult you about inviting Tom to stay here because I was absolutely sure it was right. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Roberts undertook his new duties conscientiously, if not with confidence. And within a month's time, Mr. Thurman had accepted him as a full-fledged member of the organization. And meanwhile, he puzzled over the fact that his daughter Robin was displaying a hitherto unsuspected interest in the business. On the farm, work was progressing as usual. Well, not quite as usual.
Inga? Yeah? Tom Roberts just called from town to find out if it's okay for him to invite young lady to supper tonight.
Yeah, of course. Go call him back and tell him it is fine. And yes, we make this a special occasion for Tom, yeah?
Yeah. We fix smorgasbord, fish pudding, head cheese, sweet and sour herring. Oh, what's the matter? You do not feel well?
Yes. Nothing.
Morning sickness again.
Oh, why they call it morning sickness, I don't know. It always comes on me in the afternoon and the evening.
Oh, maybe it is better you do not have company tonight.
No, I'm all right. I'll be all right. And besides, I don't want to disappoint Tom the first time he has to bring his young lady here. Now, go call him back and tell him dinner at 6:30. But don't be so nervous, Tom. It's only 7:05.
Well, I can imagine what's holding her up. She said she'd be here at 6:30 sharp.
Maybe Miss Thurman expected you to call for her.
No, we talked it over and decided it would be best if she came by herself.
Oh, I see.
Oh, by the way, Tom, have you told Mr. Thurman your ideas about improving office efficiency?
No, not yet.
I think you should. Sounded pretty good to me.
Well, I'm afraid Mr. Thurman might blow his top.
Why?
Oh, you know, an ex-con trying to tell him how to run his business.
Oh, Tom.
And besides, chances are my ideas wouldn't work out in practice anyway.
You know, the best way to make people believe in you is to first believe in yourself.
I suppose, but... Car coming. That must be Robin.
Oh, come. We make her welcome.
Mr. Thurman.
Yes. I wanted the pleasure of telling you off in person, Roberts.
But why? What has he done?
Are you implying you didn't know that he and my daughter have been meeting behind my back?
Well, no, not without your permission. We didn't know.
I figured Mr. Thurman wouldn't approve of Robin and me dating, so I asked her not to mention it to him.
Oh.
I still wouldn't have known about it if she hadn't accidentally let it slip at dinner tonight. Just the kind of behavior I might have expected from a jailbird.
Oh, I must remind you, Mr. Thurman, Tom is an ex-jailbird.
And I must remind you, Mrs. Cabot, that it was on your personal guarantee that I hired him in the first place.
Yeah.
I'll not forget this, Mrs. Cabot.
Take it easy, Thurman.
I'll take it as I please. You're never going to see my daughter again, do you understand? Not if I have to lock her in her room permanently. And furthermore, you're fired as of now. Now stand back.
Your personal guarantee.
Yeah?
Does that mean you promised to make good any money I might have stolen?
I knew you would not steal any money, Tom.
And I suppose it was your co-signature that convinced the department store and the automobile agency to let me have credit.
It was. But you must not blame them for being cautious. They do not know you so well as I do.
Then nobody trusted me. Not really.
Tom? I trusted you.
Yeah. Well, now what do I do?
Well, I don't know. I think that's up to you.
But an ex-con doesn't have a chance on his own. You just now saw that for yourself.
I saw that Mr. Thurman was disturbed not because of your past record, but because of your present behavior.
You actually think I should have told him I was dating his daughter?
Yeah, I do.
Well, do you have any idea what would have happened if I'd done that?
All I know is what happened because you did not do that. Well, come now, we eat.
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any appetite left.
Really blazing, isn't he?
Isn't it funny? People are always more angry when they suspect they are wrong than when they are sure they are right.
Come on inside. During the night, Tom Roberts disappeared from the bunkhouse, and no one had any idea where he'd gone.
No.
That's right.
All right. Thank you.
As his co-signer, Inga was legally responsible for what he still owed. Tom's creditors were remarkably patient, but they too had expenses to meet, and, well, finally...
Inga! Inga! Come! Yeah, I'm here. The department store and the automobile agency have been trying to reach you all morning. Where have you been?
I have been making arrangements to pay them their money.
Catch.
Oh, I must. Oh, remember to ask Charlie to look at that motor. It gets so hot.
What kind of arrangement?
Oh. Well, I talked to Harlan Bacon, and he wants to buy those 3 acres over by the Gully Road, you know?
So much work you have put into that land. Yeah. It is a shame to sell.
Yeah, I know. But there is no other way, Jessie.
Oh, you left this paper. What is it?
Oh, that is the bill of sale. Harlan Bacon had drawn up.
It has already gone through, the deal.
Oh, my goodness, no. Bill tells me I must always read legal papers very carefully before signing. Go ahead. I have.
All these were assets and were forced. You will understand that?
Oh, no, Jessie. Not one, probably. But I will read them anyway. Like the book says, Obey your husband.
Oh, yeah, he is a smart man, Mr. Cabot.
Oh, yeah.
It is good you follow his suggestions.
Yeah. Coming. Yeah. Oh, Tom, come in. Come in.
Cabot.
Oh, we've been so worried about you. Where have you been?
Well, off by myself, trying to think things out. And I've been working on this.
What is this?
Remember all those ideas I had about streamlining the operation of Mr. Thurman's business?
Oh.
Well, I put them all into writing.
So many ideas.
Well, it amounts to a complete reorganization plan.
Yeah.
And not half bad, if I do say so myself.
Oh, you begin to believe in yourself, yeah?
Well, I figured you were right. If I didn't start pretty soon, nobody else would.
Oh, Tom.
I also figured Mr. Thurman is kind of a hot-tempered cuss.
Yeah.
But he's always been fair-minded.
Yeah?
Well, it's just possible if someone brought this to his attention, I might get my job back.
Oh, that's good. Then you must show it to him right away.
Well, to tell you the truth, I was sort of hoping you'd take it to him.
Oh, no, Tom. No, you no longer need a crutch. Now, this proves you can stand on your own 2 feet now.
Well, I'm afraid Mr. Thurman wouldn't even hear me out. I already have 2 strikes against me there.
But it seems to me you're allowed 3 strikes before you're out, no?
Yeah?
Well?
You mean, even if I went down swinging, there's always another turn at bat?
That's right.
The worst Mr. Thurman could do is have me tossed out on my ear, and that wouldn't kill me.
Oh, I like to hear you talk that way.
You know what? I might even ask his permission to date Robin.
Oh, that's good.
All square and above board.
Yeah, that's very good.
So let him have me tossed out. On my other ear.
Yeah, but he might not. You know, you explained to him you made a mistake. And as you say, he's a very fair-minded man.
Well, we'll soon know. May I?
Yeah?
Thank you, Mrs. Cabot.
You're welcome, Tom. You're very welcome.
Wish me luck.
Oh, I do better than that. I say a prayer for you.
Oh, thanks. I can't think of anyone who has a better in with the big boss.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Now go. Go.
Inga, I'm home, honey.
Oh, right on time. I just finished our lemonade.
Good.
Sit right here. We have it outside tonight. It's cool.
I got great news for you.
Good.
A little while ago, I bumped into A.R. Thurman downtown,
Yeah?
and guess what?
What?
He's put Tom back on the payroll.
Oh.
Yeah, the way I understand it, Thurman hit the ceiling when Tom first barged in.
Yeah.
But after he dug his reorganization plan that Tom had mapped out for him, he started whistling.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Sure, so Tom can handle his own credit payments from now on.
Yeah.
And that's not all.
Oh.
Where do you think Tom's having dinner tonight?
At the Thurman house with Robin and Mr. Thurman.
The old boy was so pleased with Tom's honest approach, he invited... You knew all about it.
Yeah?
Well, why'd you let me babble on this way?
Well, because the book says a good wife should sit and listen to her husband patiently, attentively, and quietly, even if she has heard it before. Tom had already called from Mr. Thurman's office and told me the good news. And besides, you babble so prettily.
Pretty enough to kiss.
Oh, you bet. Oh, Danny. Oh, I am such a fortunate woman. The baby's going to have a fine father. Just like I did. School? The highest reward of man's toil is not what he gets for it, but what he becomes by it. John Ruskin. Well, good night. And we'll see you next week.
Visit the Loretta Young Show again next week. Same time, same station.